Judge Dredd, The Pit. I've saved the best to last. The Pit is a gritty epic which sees Dredd put in charge of Sector House 301, in a sector where lawlessness abounds and the Justice Department itself is riddled with corruption. The opening section of the story focuses on the various judges under Dredd's command and their reaction to his attempts to clean up the pit. Particular focus is given to Judge DeMarco, who, although tasked by Dredd with heading up the anti-corruption unit, has her own skeletons in the closet. For long stretches of the Dredd strip throughout the years, the judges were portrayed as all being in much the same mould as Dredd himself, clean, upstanding servants of the law. But part of what makes this pit such a good storyline is that it shows that many of the city's judges are still human and still have the same frailties and failures as many of the citizens do. Once again, in the audiobook, it's great to hear the voice acting bringing the characters to life. I really enjoyed Patricia Rodriguez's portrayal of the interesting character of DeMarco, while it was also great fun to hear Judges Giant and Castile in the action as well. The pit also features some of my favourite sound design from the whole series, particularly when, in the final act of the story, all hell breaks loose and we hear full-blown firefights, rioting mobs, bursts of Lawmaster bike cannon, vehicles and infrastructure being blown apart, all adding to the action and chaos illustrated on the page. I'd like to give special mention to an earlier sequence where Judge Struthers performs a demonstration of his skills by swinging around a day stick, which packs all the punch and crunch you'd expect it to. Terrific stuff by the sound department. I should mention that The Pit has more tweaks in the presentation of the story than some of the other audiobooks, but they're all minor additions which are completely justified. There are sequences in the graphic novel where panels are constantly flipping between two or more situations, and for obvious reasons, some of those have been condensed to lessen the constant intercutting. I would stress that I did not find this an issue while I was following the action, as I flipped through the pages of my copies of the complete case files while listening. There are a few snippets of additional description by the narrator to explain a little of the action to those only listening and not reading along with it. Again, though, I could see the reasons for that being necessary to adapt the story for a listening audience, and they were so brief and appropriate that I didn't have any issue with them. My one very minor quibble would be that the soundtrack, as it is the same one that featured in the America audiobook, feels a little familiar by the end. That said, I fully understand that this would be an intentional decision to provide continuity in the music across both audiobooks. I would like to stress, though, that this is really nitpicking, because I found The Pit superb overall, and the final act really delivered on hearing the mayhem and destruction, something which made me smile as I listened and flipped through the beautiful art of Dredd creator Carlos Ezquerra, among others, which features in this classic tale. Once again, the makers excelled themselves.